welcome to a new YouTube video of mine. Today we are going to talk about how you can have a great day every day. No more waiting for the day to be over, because we want to use our time in the best way, live in the present and live happily every day. So I wrote down 7 principles that I found out for myself that helped me have a great day every day, and I hope that they can help you too. So let's start with the first principle. I'm gonna start by a principle that I think is really important to do in the morning. For me, like in the morning, you're starting your day, right? And what I want you to do is to find one thing. Could be whatever, like everybody's talking about meditation, journaling, reading, all of that stuff, and it's great. I do it myself, but it's not something for everybody. I just want you to find one thing and do this one thing every morning, so it becomes a routine before, like, even just looking at your phone or doing anything on your phone. I found out for myself, and I believe that it's the case for everybody, because we all have social media, most of us use social media. As soon as you go on your phone, first thing in the morning, it's like you are not even taking time for yourself. You are prioritizing all of these people before yourself. Find one thing, and to do this one thing every morning, and I can promise you, you will feel the change. For me, it's journaling. Like, I love journaling. I do it in the morning and in the evening. It helps me so much with so many things. But what I've noticed is that even if I go on my phone, go on a screen before I journal, I will feel bad afterwards, and I also will start my day probably later, because I haven't really set my goals for the day, and so there's nothing to come, right? Because I haven't even thought about what I'm gonna do today, or how my day is gonna be, or how I want my day to be, and so I just let things happen to me. But instead, if I journal first, like, I just set up for my day, and I know that even if I go on my phone afterwards to check something or whatever it is, I will have in the back of my head, I know that these are my goals for the day. This is what I want to do today. This is how I feel right now, and I want to keep feeling this way. And I know that I won't if I stay on my phone. So I will shut down my phone even faster and just start my day and have a great day. My second principle is that I want you to try to find beautiful things in your day, things that make you happy. So what I want you to do is to try to look for the good in every day, for beautiful little things. Could be whatever. It could be a friend making you, like, bringing you coffee at work, or just the sun coming out. Like, look for little things that you like for me, for example, it is the sun coming out. And as soon as that is the case, I instantly feel happier, because that's one thing that makes me happy, and I know myself and I know the things that make me happy. And so instantly I'm like I try to kind of like absorb this good in this moment. And if you can do this with multiple little things in your day, you will kind of like go on another level, on a happier level. These really are the things that can change a whole day. And if you really hold on to these little moments, it can change your whole day in general. My third principle is that you should start to practice gratitude. Being grateful in general is a huge part of being happy. It's so, like, being grateful can open you so many doors, because it just connects you to source energy, and being grateful is everything, actually. But what I want to talk about in this video right now is that I want you to be grateful for the little things in your day. I want you to be grateful for the things like the things that I just talked about in the principle number 2, the things that make you happy, like the sun is coming out. Like for me, as I said, when the sun is coming out and it's shining and whatever, it makes me happy. And at the same time, because I practiced this so many times, I immediately feel some kind of gratitude in myself just for the fact that this is just happening to me right now, and that it makes me happy, and I just feel grateful for that. To try to, every time you are lucky or something good happens to you, even if it's just really little. Like an example would be you driving your car and immediately finding a great parking. That for some people could be like, some people wouldn't even really acknowledge this, but really try in a moment to say thank you in your head. Try to feel this thankfulness, really, because this, as I already said, will bring you on this next level of vibration, of positive vibration, and it will just lift you up on your everyday life. Now, my 4th principle is that if you feel exhausted or tired, or you just had a long day, or even maybe it's in the morning and you really don't want to start this day, you don't want to go on this day, I don't know, whatever it is, and you don't feel like doing something because you feel this kind of like tiredness, try to do one thing. If it's going on a walk or just one little thing that is out of your comfort zone, it doesn't need to take a lot of time. Just do this one thing, and you will see afterwards if you are actually exhausted, because if you still feel exhausted after doing this thing, it's fine. Then you also need to give yourself the time to rest. But most of the time you will see that you're actually not that exhausted, and that you just need this little thing to come out of your comfort zone. And afterwards, most of the time, you will be way more motivated to do more of these things. And now on to principle number 5. It's so important, I've already mentioned it, but for you to try to really be in the present moment, like to really absorb everything in the now. Because if you're constantly waiting for this one meeting to be over, this one class to be over, this one whatever to be over, like, what are you waiting for? You know, like, you should really try to be happy where you are in this, really, like, in this moment. At the end of the day, nothing external can make you truly happy the way you can be happy by being like internally happy within yourself, without any external material things. What I mean by this is that you will never feel the happiness, like not with any car, shoes, clothes, house, or whatever, than like the happiness that you can feel by just being at peace in yourself and just being yourself and knowing that you are at the right place at the right time, not having this feeling of lacking anything. That is the moment that you feel truly happy, and that's why it's important to try to be happy in whatever moment you are in or wherever you are. Like, I really believe in the fact that everything we do, we can do it with more, like, we can romanticize it, we can make it better, or at least better for us. I think that it just needs to come from within, and as soon as this is at peace and you're feeling true happiness, just by not needing anything, that's when everything outside of you will be so much easier. This is about being in the present moment, but also learning to tune into yourself and being happy just by being yourself, by just being by yourself, by not needing anything. Accept the situation you're in and make the best out of it. And my principle number 6 is something I really had to learn in a pretty intense way, because I'm someone who's very organized. I'm a perfectionist. I really need everything to be the way I planned it. This principle is about being spontaneous, being more playful, and also being less serious. If you're constantly like having a schedule, don't get me wrong, it's great to have a schedule, to plan things, to be organized, to have routines. This is all like, these are all very important things for us as human beings. But in general, you still should try to have the flexibility to really just be in the moment and to be able to choose what makes you happy, because most of the times the things that are happening like spontaneously and you didn't plan often are like the best things, because sometimes just letting things happen to you can be great too. What I mean is that I personally take myself pretty seriously very often, and it is a really big quality, because everything I do it in a very good way, because I'm taking everything I do very seriously. But sometimes it can just make you feel lighter and happier taking things not that seriously. Like, try to find this balance between taking things seriously, doing your routines and all of that stuff, but also having like this lightness, like this playfulness in your relationships, your work. So my point in general is that I really want you to try to find a balance between being organized, having your routines, and taking your job or your classes, whatever it is you're doing in general, seriously, but also making some space for just being fun. These are the things that will actually bring you happiness, and if you can try to balance this in your everyday life, it will feel better and lighter. My last principle is about your evening routine. What you're doing on your evening before you go to sleep is very important, because first of all, our sleep is super important, and the way and like the feeling with which you're gonna go to bed most of the time is the feeling with which you're gonna wake up. And so if you can set yourself up to a great tomorrow the night before, it will help you to wake up more easily, to already like know where you're going to. Also help you to focus on what's really important, because it's so important what you put in your mind before going to sleep. So as I already said, it doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're reading a book, journaling, doing yoga, or just talking with your partner or whatever, just try to not go on social media before you go to sleep, because it won't really set you up for a good night and also a good morning the next day. Okay, so this was my talk about how you can try to have a better everyday life. I tried to give you my best tips, and I hope that you will implement them and that they will help you. And yeah,